So first, our intent, as we said Thursday, our intent is, someone using our field, someone using our facility is for us to eliminate ambiguity and have real clarity on the direction that we're moving forward. I still consider the MOUs that we have in place imperfect, meaning they're not exactly the way, this was really our first step, was to say, let's not have leagues using our fields that we don't have a contact phone number or let's make sure that we've got, our ducks in a row, that we all have a general agreement on how to move forward. But what we charge, $10 a player. Well, we may modify that. Different sports are going to treat it differently. Some sports, it might make sense as a percentage. I would like to see that kids in the city of Pensacola, that we motivate these leagues to recruit more kids from the city by they pay less per head for a kid that lives in the city versus one that doesn't, right? That makes a lot of logical sense to create value of living in the city. So this was step one. We had a robust meeting, Parks and Rec, myself, with these operators, and said, hey, let's get a clean canvas here of an understanding, and once we have that, we'll take another year or so to modify these so they won't all remain exactly the same. They're pretty much the same now amongst different leagues. But again, some seasons are shorter. So, a league might say, well, wait, why am my league, I'm only on the field half as much as this other sport. Why are we paying the same per head? There's a lot of nuance that's going to go into how these should be crafted based on, if you have a sport that beats up the field a little bit more or has more volume, more kids on it, then that's something that we have to consider. So the way I look at this is, there's no intent, or it would be impossible for the city of Pensacola to be charging these leagues what it takes to maintain these fields, right? This is a subsidy. The same way if we were running our own leagues, it would be a subsidy. This is not a profit-making venture for us, but it brings so much to our community to have youth sports. Something I've played my entire life is very important to me. And so if we've got these operators, these mothers and fathers and volunteers out here, helping us run these leagues, I'm very, very appreciative of that. It's not an easy thing to do. And so, we will try to find that happy medium as best we can to make sure that these leagues are held accountable to rules and to, helping us at least offset some of that cost, but also fully understanding that they bring value to us too. It's not just, how accountable can we make them? They are doing work that helps enhance our community, helps enhance the living experience for the youth in our community. So we're working on it. It still is, I would say, even with the MOUs, it still is a work in progress. But we're in a better position today than we were yesterday in this topic.
The idea of wiping the financial slate clean is
Yeah.
sort of a gambit, right? You haven't actually done that. The city has.
I have not had any. I would have to talk to our Parks and Rec department about where we are with balances previously. What I'll tell you philosophically for me is, in my mind, we're only moving forward from here. I expect the same way you should expect the city to do what they say they're going to do. I expect people with MOUs to do what they say they're going to do. Now, there's a human element to everything, right? I mean, one of the conversations has been, one league might have a significant amount of low income, underserved kids that might be on scholarship. So should the league be paying $10 a player for that, the same way that a league that may not have as many kids on scholarship. So those are those nuanced things. So that's why I say there's a human element to everything, and we should consider and entertain all of that. So I have not had any direct conversation about unpaid balances of previous MOUs or anything like that. My focus really has been on, let's get the canvas clean. Let's make sure that we all know which way we're going and continue to improve upon what those agreements are.
So you are in the negotiation phase on these new MOUs a year out?
Yeah, I mean, we're not holding it to 12 months because remember, here's why this is so difficult. If it was easy, we probably would already have done it. This has been why it's difficult is all these leagues start at different times. They're different sizes. They charge different amounts. And so, I give credit to our Parks and Rec department. to get everybody in the room. I don't know when the last time that's happened. All of these different operators at once. Some leagues are on now. Some don't start in 6 months from now. And so there's even as we negotiate these moving forward, there's not a. I would love to say, well, all of them are going to be negotiated on July 1st. Well, some might be playing. Some might not be anywhere near playing. So it is difficult, the carousel of all of these different things happening. It's a great thing that we have all of this activity at our parks, but it makes it a little complex. So that's why I don't think that the next phase of this is going to be that we're going to roll out several MOUs all at the same time. As these start to come up and as we negotiate these with each league, we want them to be successful. This is not a gotcha for us. This is not a look, at the end of the day, $10 a player or whatever this becomes this is not a money-making venture for the city of Pensacola. We want these leagues to help us offset some of our costs for maintaining the fields that they use, and we want them to be successful, and we want them to enrich the lives of the kids who live here. So that's where we're at with it, and so we're
over the weekend, that's the biggest buzz noise that we've heard. Neighborhood against neighborhood, sort of beggar your neighbor, one league against another league, one league. I mean, it just created a lot of buzz out there. But mostly, the buzz is the city's trying to get this on an even keel, but that league over there still owes the city a lot of money.
Yeah.
And we want to pay ours, but they're not paying theirs.
Well, look, I think the change that we've proposed and continue to go through, I think that's going to be a natural consequence, is to say, hey, when things haven't been as formalized before, there's ambiguity, and that's why ambiguity is 80% of failure, as they say. So we're trying to eliminate ambiguity in this process, get everybody on the same page, and then we can work with the human element. We can work with the nuance of what makes sense in each one of these for each league. But as I said, thanks to our Parks and Rec department and these leagues, the operators of these leagues coming to the table with us, we're in a better place now than we were. And so we'll continue. Our job's not done in that front. We'll continue to negotiate with these leagues. And as I said, in no way have I would have to speak to our Parks and Rec department about where we stand with past balances. I don't want to make it sound we're saying that if there's money owed that we all agreed to, that we've made a decision one way or the other on that. I'd have to get with them. But as I said, I'm focused on moving forward, looking ahead and saying we're in a better place than we are now, and let's just make sure we have an understanding with all these leagues about what our expectations are and what their expectations are.